Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us in this afternoon's program. We are very excited to launch the 2021 edition of Evolution and Mutations in the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and Evidence by, of course, our beloved Rex authors, Dean Emeritus Cesar T. Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco U. Tirol. Now, let us open the program with a prayer. We would like to enjoin everyone to be in the presence of our dear Almighty Father for our opening prayer. This will be followed shortly by the singing of our national anthem.
In respectful presence of our brothers and sisters across boundaries and faiths, let us all join in prayer and worship and gratitude and for guidance. Almighty and eternal God, we thank you for the gift of life and all its joys. We thank you for today, for all its challenges, in all its splendor. We thank you for the gift of one another. O God of infinite mercy and wisdom, only in unity with your will can all our toils have true meaning. Transform us into willing and able stewards of this world and its future. Bring us together to work with understanding and compassion. As we toil and grow weary, we pray for renewed strength and resolve. As we experience pain and sorrow, let us be reminded of untold good beyond. As we see pain and suffering, let us be instruments of your peace and extensions of your loving and healing hands. As we gather here today, bless us all that our collective knowledge be tempered and guided by your wisdom. Grant us clarity of vision to see the common good amidst all distractions. Endow us with humility and purity of heart to transcend all differences and reservations. When we leave this gathering, let us be the change we seek. As we endeavor to practice what we learn, let us be the good we want to see in others. As we work for our learners and their future, let it be that your will be done. In solemn silence, let us conclude with our own personal prayer.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiging telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, ay hinatang tulad awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pamay di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
bigger, and better Rex education.
From the mid-20th century, during a time of challenges and hopeful rebuilding, from an alliance of shared passion, Rex was born, persevering through decades, sustained by faith, emboldened by vision. Rex has become a tradition of service to the nation. With its first publications, Rex pledged itself to a more proactive role in education. As evolving education required new tools and services, so did Rex expand. In the dawn of the 21st century, when education is demanded to foster learning in all forms, learning within and beyond the walls of institutions, for sustaining today for the future. We are championing education. We are now Rex Education.
To tell us more about Rex Education and to officially open today's event, let us hear from Rex Education's Chief External Affairs Officer, Ms. Danda Crimelda Buhain.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone to today's Learning Back book launch and lecture. As we count down the months to the bar exams, it is with great pride that we present another stellar legal material that will hopefully guide our future lawyers into securing the future of service and integrity. This new book, of course, comes from Rex Education, a brand, a community, an advocacy, and a tradition of service dedicated to inspiring every Filipino lifelong learner to advance themselves and uplift others. With 70 years of service and dedication to education, we have evolved from that iconic bookstore that we all know to something bigger and more significant. From just providing learners with published educational materials, we are now accompanying everyone throughout their lifelong journey. Learning in all forms, beyond the walls of institutions, learning for delight, enlightenment, and fulfillment. And true to our tradition of service, Rex Education is guided by the Educampion philosophy, which seeks to rally and empower education duty bearers. We believe that all of us are Educampions, champions for education who are all working with the best interests of the Filipino whole learner in mind. As Rex Education, our mission is to empower all duty bearers in the field of education to champion education no matter what the circumstances are. It is through and because of this that we are excited to spend the next 2 hours with you as we come together to unveil our most updated offering for the Philippine legal community. Friends and partners in education, may I present to you Evolution and Mutations in the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and Evidence by Dean Emeritus Cesar Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco Tirol. The times are always changing, especially now in pandemic. So Rex takes the duty seriously to always keep our reference materials and books relevant and up to date. With COVID-19 changing the way we conduct legal matters and trials, it is now important to take into account new measures such as social distancing procedures and video conferencing, and the latest amendments to the rules on pleadings, motions, pre-trials, and trials to our practice. Looking to the U.S. Federal Rules on Civil Procedure and Federal Rules on Evidence for guidance, our two authors have come up with an up-to-date report on how civil procedure and evidence has changed. And is changing and will continue to change as we navigate the new normal. The task has not been easy. but we are honored that we are working with two great minds and equally experienced legal luminaries to undertake this endeavor. Dean Emeritus Cesar T. Tirol is a renowned author with years of experience as a practitioner and academic and serves as the Dean Emeritus of the University of San Agustin College of Law. Working together with Dean Cesar is his son, Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco Tirol. He also serves as a faculty member at the University of San Agustin College of Law, working in the Office of the Deputy Speaker for Mindanao for the House of Representatives of the Philippines, and was an inaugural speaker at the International Scientific Conference on Best Interests of the Child and Shared Parenting organized by International Council on Shared Parenting and the Universidad de Malaga, Facultad de Derecho in Malaga, Spain. Today's lecture is going to be a jam-packed and enlightening session, and hopefully we can learn so much from our notable authors. So without further ado, friends, join me in welcoming our partners in championing legal education, the father and son legal tandem, Dean Emeritus Cesar Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco Tirol.
Thank you, Ms. Danda, for the very nice introduction. And of course, for welcoming us to the Rex Bookstore family. I have been to your P. Florentino outlet and bought a book there almost 20 years ago. I think you may be familiar with Betty's Sans Rival, which is just nearby. Betty, after whom the Sans Rival is named, is my mother-in-law. Greetings, everyone. I suggested to the main author that I shall go first because there is a saying that we save the best for last. But before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge and thank the many persons who made this activity possible, many of whom are present this afternoon. Supreme Court Justice Francis H.R. De Lesa, Father President Frederick C. Comendador of the University of San Agustin, Rex Bookstore, of course, especially Miss Jovelyn of Rex Bookstore Iloilo, Professor Jose Manuel de Torres Perea of the Facultad de Derecho, Universidad de Malaga, Deans Alfuente and Endonila of the Colleges of Law of West Visayas State University and Central Philippine University, my fellow members of the faculty of the USA College of Law, my former students, and of course the former students of the main author, our fellow students of the law, especially to the former students of the main author who so graciously gave their time to today's activity. We shall hear from them later. One good outcome of the COVID-19 pandemic is that it gave the main author, who is himself a COVID survivor, the time and the energy to write these commentaries that we are formally launching this afternoon. These are aptly called the evolution and mutation of the rules of civil procedure and evidence because these come from his personal views and experiences as a member of the Philippine Bar since 1956, or for 65 years now, as well as his lifelong learning and study of the law as its student of the sources of the present rules, sources both local and foreign. His former students would surely know what I'm talking about, especially because the manner by which he taught, the last time of which was more than a decade ago, required him to bring to class not just his textbook, but also his personal notes, scribblings, and clippings. I am proud to be a co-author of the commentaries that we are launching this afternoon, not only because I am his son, but also because I remain to be his apprentice. Time and again, the Supreme Court emphasizes that, I quote, while it is true that litigation is not a game of technicalities, it is equally true that every case must be prosecuted in accordance with the prescribed procedure to ensure an ordinary and speedy administration of justice. True it is that litigation is not a game, but it has many rules. Thus, this book, which contains not just the full texts of and commentaries on two rules, namely the 2019 amendments to the Rules on Civil Procedure and the 2019 amendments to the Rules on Evidence, as well as the 2020 guidelines on the conduct of video conferencing. It also contains a timetable for lawyers. All of these are very handy for litigators and for litigation work. These explain the whats and the hows as well as the whys, especially during this period of pandemic. I dare say that this book is a must-have reference and desk book for litigators and practitioners, members of the bench, law professors, law students, especially because of CLEP, and bar reviewees. And so we are very thankful to now become part of Rex Bookstore. We are confident that this book is simply the beginning of a beautiful relationship between us. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for that very rich presentation, Dean Jose Marie Tirol. Now, let us listen to Dean Emeritus Tirol.
My compañeros and compañeras in the legal profession. If a client goes to you with a grievance, after hearing his story, you go about drafting the complaint. You find that under Rule 7, Section 6 of the Rules of Civil Procedure, you already have to name your witnesses beforehand and attach their judicial affidavits. You should also submit the documentary and object evidence you intend to use to support your allegations. This means that at the very outset, you already structure your direct examination and mark your exhibits. Rule 18, Section 2, Subparagraph G. The case will no longer be set for direct examination, but for cross-examination only. Section 7, last paragraph. This will then be followed by plaintiff's formal offer of evidence and the court's ruling thereon. Rule 30, Section 1, Subparagraph A, and Section 6. Naturally, you will feel compelled to shift to Rule 132 on presentation of evidence. Here, you will check the rules on offer and objection in sections 34 to 40. The grounds for objection are found in the preceding Rule 139 on rules of admissibility. You will try to make your affidavits and exhibits invulnerable to attack. This is the same process which the defendant's lawyer will follow when his client, who has been served with summons and a copy of the complaint, asks him to come to his defense. He has 30 days to answer under Rule 2, Section 1, and he also has to comply with Rule 7, Section 6. Additionally, he will be screening Rule 130 on the rules of admissibility to find good grounds for raising objections and attacking the plaintiff's testimonial and documentary evidence. From the start, therefore, there is already a shuffling back and forth between the civil procedure rules and the evidence rules. Thus, the speed and convenience of having both codes in one handy volume, which also includes the recently promulgated guidelines on the conduct of video conferencing. The guidelines are a very timely resource that will avoid delays, especially during this pandemic. They apply to all kinds of hearings found in the rules, not only to trials. Parenthetically, with respect to the ritual of making a formal offer of evidence, I have a comment about it in the book. Undeniably, our rules were taken from U.S. models, which were brought to our shores after the Battle of Manila Bay. Practically all lawyers now studied procedure and evidence under this system, where a lawsuit is commenced by the complaint and summons, and the defendant answers. This is the pleading stage. Then follows pre-trial and trial. In the U.S., this has to be trial by jury in most cases because this is mandated by their constitution. There are many popular books on courtroom trials where dramatic incidents are portrayed, such as fierce debates over objections to questions, or lawyers dueling with witnesses during cross-examination. The lawyer demolishes the witness when, by skillful questioning, he admits a falsehood, or the witness, fighting like a caged tiger, triumphs over the lawyer for asking stupid questions, all in the presence of the jury and courtroom spectators. Under the amended rules, the pleading stage and the trial stage, at least the direct examination or presentation of evidence, have been fused into one. This is a big departure from the U.S. system, which does not dispense with direct examination in the presence of the jury, because it is the jury which makes findings of fact, not the judge. The rule on evidence is said to be a child of the jury system. The effect of the new rules and the guidelines is to eliminate the dilatory tactic of piecemeal presentation of witnesses, where hearings are postponed from month to month and cases drag on for years. No wonder that adaptable and inventive lawyers have the system of charging fees, open quotation, per appearance, close quotation. And yet, an American lawyer pointed out, after seeing our practice, that this could not happen if we had the jury system. For here, the trial must be concluded promptly, for otherwise the jurors who are sequestered cannot go home. At any rate, the lawyer who is raring to show his forensic method to his client para justificar sus honorarios, as they say in Spanish, or to justify his fees, still has the cross-examination stage to prepare for and show his brilliance. The rules on cross-examination are there in Rule 132, Section 6 to 14. Thank you.
Especially at a time when the study and practice of law have become more challenging. In behalf of Rex Education, allow me to congratulate you on yet another feather in your cap with the release of this book. We are with you in your initiative to provide expert guidance in grassroots administration of justice. We look forward to learning more from you through your books and lectures. Again, congratulations, Dean, and here's to more years of working together as stewards of legal education. Now, to tell us more about our authors and this new book, let us hear from Prosecutor Lina Brotarlo Pasco, Assistant City Prosecutor of Iloilo City.
Good afternoon, everyone. Going to USA College of Law in 1979 is one of the best decisions I have made in my life. Allow me to reflect on some of the qualities of Dean Tirol as Dean, private practitioner, educator, and author of law books. How the deanship of Dean Tirol has impacted my studies at the USA College of Law. It was my parents, who are both lawyers and graduates of Central Philippine University College of Law in 1954, who decided that I should go to USA College of Law. Of course, my father knew Dean Tirol. He must have heard so much about Dean Tirol, and my father had high regard for Dean Tirol. The journey of law school was surprising and fun, hard work, and consistency in studying law. Some of the important skills I have gained from USA College of Law is critical thinking and applying and analyzing the intricacies of law in areas such as civil. Good afternoon, everyone. Going to USA College of Law in 1979 is one of the best decisions I have made in my life. Allow me to reflect on some of the qualities of Dean Tirol as Dean, private practitioner, educator, and author of law books. How the deanship of Dean Tirol has impacted my studies at the USA College of Law. It was my parents, who are both lawyers and graduates of Central Philippine University College of Law in 1954, who decided that I should go to USA College of Law. Of course, my father knew Dean Tirol. He must have heard so much about Dean Tirol, and my father had high regard for Dean Tirol. The journey of law school was surprising and fun, hard work, and consistency in studying law. Some of the important skills I have gained from USA College of Law is critical thinking and applying and analyzing the intricacies of law in areas such as civil.
All right. We will go back to Prosecutor Lina Pasco for now to share, let's see, to tell us more about what makes the book an expert guide for our 2020-2021 barristers. Let us all give a warm welcome to Prosecutor Shella Marie Delgado, Assistant Provincial Prosecutor of Province of Capiz.
A pleasant day to everyone. I am honored to be invited by the distinguished Dean Jose Mari Benjamin Francisco U. Tirol of the School of Law of my alma mater, the University of San Agustin, Iloilo City, to this virtual launching of his and my beloved Professor and Dean, Dean Emeritus Cesar Tirol's book entitled Evolution and Mutations of the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and Evidence. I'm privileged that my professor in evidence and wills and succession is Dean Cesar. To me, he is an inspiration, a role model, and a mentor who encouraged me to persevere to become a member of this illustrious profession. His teachings still resonate in my subconsciousness every time I perform my duties and obligation as a lawyer and public prosecutor. He emphasized to us the definition of evidence as the means, sanctioned by the rules of court, of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact. According to him, to ferry out the truth on the fact in issue, the ideal should be that judicial proceedings should be inquisitorial rather than adversarial. In this digital age, heightened by this COVID-19 pandemic, we come to appreciate the importance of computers and of the internet. However, we cannot deny the fact that, to quote Michael Scott, real business is done on paper. Thus, books can never and will never be outdated by computers, nor can it be replaced by computers. This reminds me also of the Star Trek episode Court Martial, where Samuel Cugley, the defense counsel of Captain James Kirk, underscored human rights over computers. Computers are subject to manipulation and tampering. The timely example of this is the misrepresentation and distortion of the truth in social media nowadays. I have browsed the book of Deans Cesar and Jose Mari. To us students of law and champions of the rule of law, the book is very edifying. To Deans Cesar and Jose Mari, my commendation to this brilliant collaboration. I hope that this is not the last. God bless you both, and to everyone, advanced Merry Christmas. Thank you.
me and told me that he is giving to me his notes, handwritten, on onion skin bond papers about his annotations on the civil procedure rules at that time. I was then editor-in-chief of the USA Law Gazette, and he told me that if I can spare him a few pages of the Law Gazette, perhaps I'm interested to publish his handwritten notes, again on onion skin bond papers. I will repeat that I believe that it is among the first drafts of what we now celebrate as his book in civil procedure. But between my experience from onion skin notes to the online book launch of Dean Cesar, I am also privileged to share with you that Dean Cesar and Dean Jose Mari were among the very few who first encouraged me to join the judiciary. So that when I was eventually appointed in 2019, I jokingly told Dean Jose Mari, that was half meant Dean by the way, to tell Dean Cesar not to appear in my court at least for the first 5 years of being a judge, as I am not yet prepared to rule on his objections, if there be any, for any of the cases that he may have in my court. Dean Cesar did not stay true to the said promise, however. So this afternoon, I am privileged to speak for whatever testimonial witness experience that I have for both Dean Cesar and Dean Jose Mari. I am forever grateful to have been their student, and I will always continue to be mentored by their greatness, not just as my teachers, but also my mentors in life. Thank you, Dean Cesar. Thank you, Dean Jose Mari. And as students of law, we look forward to reading more of your brilliance in the books that you will still publish in the future. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon.
All right, thank you so much for that. Prosecutor Sheila Marie Delgado, now to share more about our author's commitment to legal education and share some reactions. Let us give a warm virtual welcome to Judge Elijo Sharon Herrera Billones, Regional Trial Court Branch 27 of Iloilo City. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. We will be hearing more about how the works of Dean Emeritus Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Tirol can help in paving the way of our future lawyers. Let us all give a warm welcome now to Prosecutor Maria Elena Hofiliona Hirochi, Provincial Prosecutor of Iloilo City. All right. Prosecutor Maria Elena.
Hello, everybody, and congratulations, of course, to our deans. Remarkable collaboration between father and son. Thank you for being phenomenal teachers and members of our legal profession. So this is an great honor and privilege to give this a testimonial to our beloved Dean Cesar Tirol. So of all the speakers here, I think I am the eldest. So Dean Cesar is not only an academician, but a great mentor as well. It is because of him that I joined the legal profession and the academe. His prodding, my father, and encouragement led a lot of us, as me especially, to enroll in the College of Law. So Dean Cesar was known to us as a most soft-spoken, but conscientious and punctual dean. In my first year, in the era when the library was a social place for gregarious law students to hang out, we would know that it would be time for our classes when someone alerts us that a left-leaning teacher was walking down the corridors of Rada Hall. It was our esteemed dean. So dean was actually not left-leaning, but right-leaning. Dean Tirol, humbly walking down the corridor of Brada Hall carrying his own attache case. When I got to the third year, Dean Tirol was our teacher in evidence. He was always on time, of course, but he was still patient with us, with our tardiness. At first, we thought we could skim through his subject since it was a 2-unit class with only an inch-thick prescribed textbook. So we thought this is going to be an easy class. We were a very unruly bunch, but Dean Cesar continued to conduct classes in a very calm and dignified manner, commanding us to listen attentively. We were ashamed of ourselves to be unruly in his class. We soon realized that the pieces of paper that were inserted or peeking through his copy of the textbook, making his textbook or making his copy an inch thicker than ours, contained all his notes, much needed updates, and jurisprudence on evidence. His meticulous ways and comprehensive approach in teaching enlightened us to learn the intricacies of law and rules. We listened and learned. He always had a smile for the students and was compassionate with the plight of the students, be it personal or professional. No matter how petty our concern was, he was there to listen and give us advice. It was during his time that the Law Week celebration was conceived. Dean Cesar again supported the clamor of the students to balance academics with cultural and sports activities. Though he seemed conventional or even very traditional at first, he was progressive in adopting policies for the college. At work, I also had a chance to observe our esteemed dean. He was strict and stern in the conduct of his legal profession, but was always gracious, kind, and cordial to his fellow lawyers, even to the most combative opposing counsel. He presented his case in low tones and amiable manner, gaining the respect of the court, his fellow lawyers, court personnel, and litigants. He has no need for theatrics or underhanded tactics to win a case. He optimized the use of the rules of evidence in winning his case. In our times, environmentalism was never heard of, but Dean Tirol was already an environmentalist. We noted that he used recycled papers as his notepads, which were cut into small pieces and placed inside the pocket of his shirt, where he once in a while would take out and write notes on. So he was already practicing a very environmental habit in those times when environmentalism was never heard of. Pondering on the work and way he conducted himself, as well as the way he prepared his notes, I was encouraged to continue my learnings and even venture into teaching. Thank you, Dean Cesar, for believing in me and guiding me to be the best version of myself. You have inspired me to work hard, continue learning, and keep growing in law. You are truly a dean for all generations. And to Jose Marie, father and son tandem is the best tandem. May you continue. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Prosecutor Maria Elena Hofilenia Hirochi. We are very honored, of course, to have you grace this event and guide us through how the book can help and guide us, not our lawyers, but also business practitioners and lay learners. Now, again, let us hear from Prosecutor Lina Brotarlo Pasco, the Assistant City Prosecutor of Iloilo City.
Good afternoon, everyone. Going to USA College of Law in 1979 is one of the best decisions I have made in my life. Allow me to reflect on some of the qualities of Dean Tirol as Dean, private practitioner, educator, and author of laws. How the deanship of Dean Tirol has impacted my studies at the USA College of Law. It puts my parents, who are both lawyers and graduates of Central Philippine University College of Law in 1954, who decided that I should go to USA College of Law. Of course, my father knew Dean Tirol. He must have heard so much about Dean Tirol. And my father had high regard for Dean Tirol. The journey of law school was surprising and fun, hard work, and consistency in studying law. Some of the important skills I have gained from USA College of Law is critical thinking and applying and analyzing the intricacies of law in areas such as civil law, property law, torts and damages, criminal law, criminal and civil procedure. As a result, I am able to apply what I have learned into my career. How was Dean as a practicing attorney? I can only share the experience of one of PNB Iloilo branch lawyers, attorney Alejandro Somo. When I was first assigned here in PNB Iloilo branch, sometime in 2004 to assist attorney Dean Somo, he informed me that he was amazed with Dean Tirol's trial techniques in one of the hearings involving PNB case. Dean Tirol did not cross-examine PNB's witness. Lo and behold, it was Dean Tirol who won the case. My fondest memory of Dean Tirol was in 1992, or a year after I was first detailed as PNB Rojas branch attorney. I can't remember the exact date, but surprise of all surprises, I received a long-distance call from Dean Tirol. He requested me to deliver the titles to his clients, the Bermejo siblings. Before I had a chance to explain to Dean Tirol that bank's loan officer can turn over the title to his clients, I already acceded to his request. Once a professor and dean, he would always be a dean and professor to his students. There is some kind of moral ascendancy by a law professor or by a dean of that school of law over his students. As a law professor, Dean Tirol is an experienced and outstanding educator, very personable and approachable. Dean Tirol and law professors are passionate in teaching law and very professional. As author of law books, Dean Tirol is credible and trustworthy. We use torts and damages in second year and trial technique in fourth year law proper. These soft-bound books were written by Dean Tirol himself. So far, these books serve as good guide and tool to a better understanding of torts and damages and trial technique as law subjects. I would not have passed the bar exams if those law books were not well written by Dean Tirol. My degree has served to influence and motivate my two children. One has been a student of Dean Tirol's. My heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Dean Tirol and the law professors of the USA College of Law of school year 1979 to 1983. I am one of the products of their passionate teaching. Congratulations to Dean Tirol and Dean Trons in today's successful book launch, assuring you of my continued support and patronage in your book launch and future endeavors. Thank you. God bless.
can the court acquire jurisdiction on the adverse witness? Is it only through notice or via notice but using the modes of summons?
Thank you for that question. It's a very interesting one. Please note that there are two types of depositions under the rules of civil procedure. You have Rule 23 on depositions pending actions and Rule 24 on depositions before action or pending appeal. And Section 1 of both rules differentiates Rule 23 from Rule 24. It will be noted, however, that Rule 23, Section 1 refers to the compelling of the witnesses through the use of subpoena with reference to Rule 21 on subpoena. And in fact, Section 5 of Rule 21 on subpoena refers to the issuance of the proof of service of the notice to take a deposition, provided in Sections 15 and 25 of Rule 23 shall constitute sufficient authorization for the issuance of subpoenas. In contrast, Rule 24 on depositions before action do not have a similar provision on subpoenas. So it appears that mere notice under the rules, under Rule 24, is sufficient, and subpoena is not anymore required by the rules. Of course, nothing prevents the interested party from asking for the issuance of a subpoena. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for answering that question, Dean. Now, we are still opening the floor for another question. Do we have more questions? Come on, this is our chance to get to know more about the book, especially that we have Dean Jose Marie Tirol with us right now. This is a very rare opportunity to be asking questions and to have our author here with us right now to answer your questions. Ayan. Hindi pang nahihiya ata magtanong ang ating mga audience, ha? Tignan natin. So, meron pa po ba na tayong gustong itanong? Because if wala na, Dean, I'll give you the floor to promote again the book. No? Siguro ang pinakatanong dito ngayon, Dean Tirol, how much ba ang copy ng ating book and where can they purchase the book?
I believe that it is now available through the website of Rex Bookstore. If I'm not mistaken, it is worth 475 pesos and it can be ordered COD. For our friends in Iloilo, however, I would strongly endorse that you buy it straight from Rex Bookstore, from the physical store, which is located in Haro, Iloilo City. It was Miss Jovelyn who convinced us to write a book for Rex, and we should also support her in this endeavor. So that's it. Please purchase the book. I would like to, before I proceed further, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Attorney Hector P. Teodosio, who is the president of the University of San Agustin Law Alumni Association, Inc., and one of the senior practitioners in Iloilo, who was, when he was still not so senior, one of the students of the Dean Emeritus. So, in fact, if we could hear a few words from him, words lang, not questions, from Attorney Teodosio.
Good afternoon. I am happy and greatly honored to have been invited to this occasion, especially that one of the principal authors and principal authors of this book is not only the present dean, but also my dean before, when I was still studying law at the School of Law of the University of San Agustin, Dean Cesar Tirol. I am happy that this book was written because this is really needed for practitioners and also for the law students to prepare the law students in their plan probably to practice law or to become great advocates of law. When I when I saw the last portion of this presentation, I am happy that that question was raised regarding deposition and discovery procedure. So hopefully this book could help our law practitioners more focused in utilizing the various modes of discovery which are really needed for us and needed to search for the truth and for engaging in active advocacy. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you very much, Attorney Theodesio, for that. Okay, so Dean Tirol, I think there are no more questions. Thank you so much for being so gracious in answering the questions of our viewers for today. Ayan,
Thank you very much also for the questions asked and for the opportunity to formally launch this book, albeit online. As Judge Elijo earlier said, from onion skin to online. So we go with the flow. We go with the times. So thank you very much, Rex Bookstore, and to the crew this afternoon for facilitating this activity for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dean Jose Marie Tirol. Now this time, as promised, we will be giving away one copy of this new book. Sino kaya ang magiging lucky winner ng ating book entitled Evolution and Mutations in the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and Evidence by, of course, our Rex authors, Dean Emeritus Cesar Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco Tirol. Okay, so I think nire-ready na natin ang ating roleta, no? So hintayin natin ang spin. Again, while we are waiting for the winner, reminder, we'll be announcing the name of our lucky person for this raffle. Now, if your name is called, no, pag umappear ang inyong name on screen, please comment down present so that we know that you are still here with us. Okay, because if not, after 30 seconds and hindi tayo makakomment ng present, bubunot tayo, no? Papaikutin uli natin ang roleta para meron namang chance yung iba na manalo ng copy ng isang book for today. All right, so let's spin the wheel and let's see sino ang ating lucky winner for this book. Ayan. Okay, so habang nagsaspin, again, you have 30 seconds to comment present. Let's see. Okay, so congratulations to Lyndon Christopher R. De La Cruz. Lyndon De La Cruz, if you're here, comment present. We will be giving you 30 seconds. And 30 seconds starts now. Okay, let's see the timer. You have 30 seconds to comment present. Nako, simpleng-simple lang. I-comment mo lang present doon sa ating chat box para ating ma-confirm, no? Para ma-confirm ng ating Rex team that you are here with us today. Yan, I hope that you're able to comment present because this is really a great opportunity, no? Para makakuha ka ng libreng book ni Nadine Tirol. Okay. So, is Lyndon present? Iko-confirm lang muna natin if he's with us. Let's see, sabi sa atin ay he is present. All right. So that ends our raffle. Congratulations to Lyndon De La Cruz. Ayan. So all you need to do is to message, okay? Send a message that includes your full name and contact number to Rex Education's Facebook Messenger para malaman mo how to claim your prize. Again, congratulations to our raffle winner. Now on that note, we have come to the end of this afternoon's program. Indeed, It was a very productive learning afternoon with our legal luminaries, Dean Emeritus Cesar Tirol and Dean Jose Marie Benjamin Francisco Tirol, and of course, with our distinguished guests. Now, in behalf of Rex Education, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for having been chosen as your partner in legal education. We look forward to more years of fruitful partnership as we continue to work together to enable the law students and lawyers to achieve their dreams of becoming lawyers and excelling as one. Now, to everyone who joined us this afternoon, thank you for learning with us and for choosing Rex to be your partner in learning. See you all on our next book launch and lecture. Thank you and keep soaring, Edo Campeons!